Hi guys, so it looks like I'm playing Warmaster.
Scruffy Crow.
Alright, so a few stars have aligned to cause this. Why am I playing Warmaster? There was the video from Luke KPS, I think a lot of people have seen this now, where he looked at playing smaller scale Kings of War and other games. He also sort of dug out some Warmaster minis. I think that's caused a few people to look into it, and it's inspired a few people to do similar projects. I don't know if it was inspired by that, but at the same time, my good friend Johnny Watson at Johnny Watson Gaming, I'll link his channel below, he also started looking at Warmaster. He picked up one of the original rule books and started looking at some minis he liked. And he wanted someone to play against, so he's kind of roped me in. Another coincidence was another channel, Gaming Nights. They suggested that I 3D print an entire army, and I took that as a little bit of a challenge. And I was kind of racking my brains about what kind of army I could completely 3D print. So I had a look around the internet about for what minis I could use. On Thingiverse, there's what appears to be a fully functional Empire army available. Also, there's a lot of Cathay models, and there also seems to be sort of comprehensive models for Skaven. None of them really appealed to me. Warpblock's also doing a range of 10mm halflings, but there aren't rules for halflings in the original Warmaster, and I didn't really want to start proxying. I fancied doing something very Warhammer the Old World. I really wanted something old worldy. So one army that I never did in 28mm, I never did original for Warhammer, and sadly don't exist anymore, were the Bretonians. So I have gone and grabbed the Bretonian list from Warmaster Revolution. That will be the rule set we're probably going to be using. It's a slightly rewritten set using the historical rules that were written after and then sort of converted back to Warmaster. I can't explain it very well. Go and check out their website if you are interested. But it should give a slightly more rounded set of rules. It's essentially Warmaster 2nd edition, like unofficial. So yeah, that's what we'll be using. And I decided to go with these Bretonians. These are lovely little miniatures, and they are from the Forest Dragon Patreon. Forest Dragon appears to be a really good option for Warmaster. There's a few resellers of his mini, they'll print them and send them to you, and that is what Johnny at Johnny Watson Gaming has done, along with a few other people I've seen, which seems like a good option. But for me, I have the printer, and I fancy the Bretonians, so I've joined the Patreon. So the first month was Knights and Peasants, the second month was Men-at-Arms and some Squires, that was it. And I'm looking forward to a third month, which I believe is going to be Pegasus Knights and Trebuchets, which is very exciting. I'm especially looking forward to printing off some of these Pegasus Knights, very sweet models. I've also been looking at sort of terrain for the game, because I don't only need terrain in the right scale. And while I was buying some bases, because all of Warmaster is done on 2x4cm bases, so you either have cavalry going that way or troops going that way on the bases. Well, I needed some of these bases. I went to War Bases, one of my favourite sites, linking me in the description as ever. I also picked up some of these fabulous little houses. So last Sunday you'll have seen my video of me putting up my display, my town layout. If not, check it out. It'll be last Sundays. And the same, so War Bases, the same place that I got those from, also does these wonderful little 10mm scale ones to a lot of the same patterns, and they are fabulous little kits. They come in these little sort of individual packs, and the ones this size were basically just credit card sized. And what you can also do is you can build the houses up without any of the timber cladding on, which is on separate cards. And then I'm going to paint them and put the timber cladding back on after. But I'll probably do a video covering these because they are fantastic little kits, and I've really been enjoying them. So to round out the rest of the terrain, I'm going to see which bits of my forest terrain I can use, because forests scale fairly well. I've also fired up the 3D printer and found a couple of files on Thingiverse, like this. This is called Dragon Tower, if you want to look for it, which is pretty cool, and I think it scales nicely. I also found this fountain with a blank top, which I quite liked, and then I scaled up one of the minis from Forest Dragon, which is the Enchantress. Scaled her up by 150%, so she's roughly 15mm scale there, and I've popped her on top of the fountain. Obviously I'm going to paint that up like a statue. I think that'll work really nicely. So here is a quick shot of the army, all ranked up. Okay, so the list so far is 3 of the most important unit, the Knights. We've got a Knight Champion, a Knight Hero, a couple of units of Squires all printed up. We've got a Enchantress on a Unicorn, 3 units of Men-at-Arms. I think that's 1 too many units for 1,000 points, but still. Another Enchantress, and 2 units of Peasants with a Grail Reliquary. I'm not sure if I've got this the right way around on the base, but the good thing about 3D printing is I can always knock out another one and stick it the other way around if that's what's required. I also used one of the champions from the Men-at-Arms set to make another hero, just because I quite like the little sculpt. Excuse the different coloured resin. When I first started printing them, I had some white resin in the machine. I didn't feel like changing it, and instead of changing it, I've literally just been topping it more and more up with my normal grey, which is why they sort of change colour on each print. But you will notice none of it's painted. I'm recording this on the 13th, and what I aim to do is I aim to try and get as much of it painted before the next month's Patreon gets released, and I obviously start printing some lovely Pegasus Knights. So I'll do a couple of videos if I have time, and I'll try and show you how I'm going to get these guys painted as fast as possible, but still try and get them to look quite nice on the tabletop. And I've really still not painted much in this sort of scale, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see how I can, how neatly I can get these guys done. I'm also going Bretonians, which is probably making my life harder than it needs to be. And each one of the knights in these units, for instance, I am going to try and paint up with individual heraldry, which could be a little bit of a challenge, because I have 3 sets of these 3 bases, so I have 9 bases like this. So that's 36 knights, separate knights that I have printed so far, including as well as a Knight Champion. So yeah, that's a lot of individual heraldry to get through. I think I'm going to go with a overall sort of army scheme of yellow and red. Initially I wanted to go like red and black, but I do a lot of stuff for those colours, and I actually want this to be quite a bright, sort of vivid, colourful army. All the sort of pageantry and sort of chivalry and chivalric knights wonderfulness on display. So yeah, I will be trying to bust out really some of those bright colours to make that a little bit different to normal. So yeah, that is my plans for the next few weeks. I will obviously be continuing with my Oathmark project. I've got quite a lot of stuff in the works for that. It's not really. This is going to be more of a side project, along with the Gamma Wars stuff. I've got a lot of things going on at the moment. But if you want to see how I get on with the Warmaster stuff, definitely put a subscription in there. Let me know what you think. If you've been playing anything in sort of smaller scales, or you've been having a look at Warmaster yourself, drop a link in the comments and let me know what you think. And if you've got some lovely Warmaster armies that can give me some inspiration, come and give me a shout in the Discord. I'd love to see those. And in general, I just want to hear your thoughts on Warmaster and sort of smaller scale fantasy gaming. So that's it for this video. As I said, if you want to see more of this, subscribe, stick a like on this video if you want to see it do well. And as ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.